It's an amazing forum. I think it's an important forum to talk about peace, especially in this place of the world, in the history that's involved here in Normandy. There are incredible panels that were available talking about issues of child soldiers, talking about Libya, talking about terrorism and new forms of violence and how we achieve peace in these things. These are important conversations, especially with the reality of our world right now. So, it's an incredibly dark moment of my life, a moment that I relive every single day, that I will never forget in my life, from the scars that I have all over my body to mark the fact that I went through this experience, to the nightmares I have when I go to sleep. I never forget my best friend when he died and I had to hold him in my arms as he's losing his breath. That's an image you can never remove, especially I was 5, I was a very young child. To being told that my family will never take me, and the guilt that comes over someone when you're told that your family won't like you. So all these things are things that have continued to live with me to this very day, even though despite the difficulty of it, my father, who was an incredible human being, an incredible human rights activist, was my guiding lights. When we lived in my house, my father, to give you an idea, was about 6'7", 250 pounds. Giant man. So when he said something, you had to listen to him, and he commanded respect, but he was not intimidating, he was very loving. In my house, we had people who were very poor that would always come to my house to ask for food. And so I grew up around this idea that you were supposed to help others because that's the right thing to do. And so that's the example I follow. My father told me once, right before he died when I was 12 years old, but I held him too when he was dying, and he told me to always remember that great men and great women throughout history have never been described by their money nor their success, but rather by their heart and what they do for others. And it is that principle to me, that you live for others, not just for yourself, that I think as a world we have forgotten, and as a result we've forgotten what it means to be at peace. This place of the world does not live for just Normandy, it lives for the world. It lives as an example that if we don't reconcile the differences that we have in our society, we could have millions of young men dying on the beaches for an ideology, for nation, for peace, for freedom.